Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and behind me is the Bowtech Honor. Comes in a complete kit. So this is a new, when I say a new thing for Bowtech, what Bowtech said is we're going to put the best bow with all the best stuff and charge you a lot of money for it. Okay? That's what they came up with. There's only 250 of them, maximum made. Now I don't believe 250 were made. So in this review, we're not going to shoot the bow, we're just going to discuss what's in it, and I'm just going to give my point of view on this product. Alright, haven't opened it, we're going to open it. Right, so first off, when I say a lot of expensive bows, I sell a lot of expensive bows. Most of my bows are to beginners and they're cheap. So people are like, oh, I want a $200 bow, I want a $150 bow, I want something cheap. Alright? That's the majority of your business. 80% of your business is that. Then for someone who's into archery, who's a serious hunter, this bow is aimed at that market. Then they're like, I'm looking at top-end stuff. Now, most of your top-end bows are around the $2,000 to $2,500 for the best bow in every brand. Now, if you produce for me a fantastic bow and it was significantly better than another bow, people would pay for it. Okay, so like push bikes, you can buy a push bike for $200 and you can buy one for $7,000. People buy the $7,000 push bike because the gears are better, it's made out of carbon, it's lighter, and things are better. Okay, I believe the same would be the case with archery, but that's not what this is. Okay, what this is Bowtech said, let's put every best bit on this bow. Okay, let's put the best bow case. Let's build a stand. I think the stand's made by, I'm going to get the name of the company wrong, so I'm not even going to attempt it. So a big metal stand, I'll throw up a picture of what it looks like. Like, who wants that stand? Seriously. Does anyone want it? Now Bowtech would have had to pay for that stand, which means they pass the cost on to the consumer. Now, the case which it comes with, this is a Pelican case. I know nothing about Pelican. And people are going to say it's really good. Okay? It's really good for people who travel in planes. Well, maybe. I've been selling archery gear for 40 years. I have never sold one, and I don't think I've seen one. But people are going to say, well, that's just because you don't know. How many of the 40,000, 70,000 customers I've got who buy stuff off me, how many of them own a Pelican case? One. There is one kid who brought one because he's got no sense of money and doesn't have any money. I'm not even going to go at him. But he has no money. He's not wealthy. It's like, and you spend $1,000 on a case and you don't travel and you don't shoot just to impress people. And it may be a great case. Okay, I'm not discussing Pelican in this case. What I'm discussing is about how viable this is as a kit for people to buy. Okay, so what you've done is you build a bow stand. It's okay, like that costs money. How many people, if that bow stand was available separately, how many people would buy it? The answer is none. Then you put a bow case, which is worth $1,000, my understanding, with a bow. How many people, if I put any bow in my shop in a Pelican case and said that's $1,000 extra, how many would I sell? The answer would be none. Okay? Look, I do sell a few of the close to $1,000 bow cases. I do. But that's to people who are already shooting and they're about to go on a World Archery Championship, about to shoot overseas, and they want something to protect their gear. It accounts, $1,000 bow cases were close to that. How many have I sold in a year? I sell a few because I'm the only person who stocks them. And people are going to say there's a couple of other archery shops who stock them in Australia, but generally not, right? Generally not. Most archery shops don't stock them, so they come to me because I've got them in stock. I would sell maybe 3, 4, 5, less than a handful of the expensive cases a year. Now, when you drop back in price, how many do I sell? Heaps. Now, with recurves, I sell quite a few recurve cases at around the $500, $400 price point because I sell lots of recurve stuff and people are happy to pay $400 to put their stuff in a case. They travel, their gear's expensive. Yes, they do. Okay, so let's open up this case and look at the case to start with. My point is, well, I've got lots of points on this video. The Honor bow was released about 7 months ago. This arrived in my shop last week. It flew in from America. So plane in from America to Australia cost me a fortune. So it took me 7 months after release date to get this product. That's not acceptable. It's just not. It's not acceptable. And I'm not having to go to the sales guy. There's some issue where things take a long time to get to me. Don't know why, but with Bowtech, it needs to speed up. Right? So one of the problems, because if you wanted this bow, no one in Australia stocked it, so you wouldn't have been able to get one. I don't know if anyone had them on special orders or anything. It was just... But if you wanted it, you probably would have had it by now, so that means I'm not going to sell the two I had come in. So my interpretation is there's 2 of these in Australia. This is the case. Oh. The case is big and it's all fully loaded with stuff, right? It weighs, I'm going to guess, it feels like 40 kilos. I might be weak, it might be 30 kilos. But it's not light, right? I haven't looked at the case. It's got wheels on the bottom. That's cool if you're going to an airport. Now, my problem is if you're going to an airport and you're traveling, I'm going to guess that's over your weight limit, okay? And then it's going to cost you an absolute fortune in luggage. So that's my first point. Look, maybe if you own a four-wheel drive, when I say four-wheel drive, a ute, and you want to throw your bow case in the back, well, that's fine because this thing ain't going to fly out because it weighs a ton. Look, it looks solid, it looks good. It's not a bad case. But it's heavy as. Yeah, there's everything in here, so we're going to open this up and see what's in here. Look, the case looks great. I'm not having a go at the case. My question is, the cases I have for $200-300 are not bad, right? They're not bad cases. And they have lots of the similar sorts of things, like the things when it goes in altitude to let air in and out. Look, the cases for $200-300 have that. They have wheels. And then you've got lighter cases like the Fivix case, which weighs maybe 5 kilos and it can fit 2 compound bows in. Lots of people buy that because it's lightweight, because you're, again, limited on weight when you're traveling. So let's open this up. The latches, look, the latches are lovely. Like, and I went away to the Nationals, I brought myself a case to put my recurve in. And the latches were rubbish, okay? And frustrated the heck out of me, and the case is about a $500 case. And I'm not impressed. So I do appreciate these latches, that they're good. I do appreciate this case. Am I going to want to spend what someone tells me is, what someone says is worth $1,000? I don't know how much this thing's worth, but they tell me it's a $1,000 case. Right. So this is what it looks like. It has this. So a bit of advertising material. Look, this is fine. This is fine. It kind of tells you what's in here. This is for your arrows on the hood. That's fine. Right. So there's a box. I'm guessing there's something in the box. I'll grab a knife. Okay, so as I open up this box to see what's inside, I sell kits. The Chinese kits are affordable. You can't buy what is in the kit for the price of the kit. There's substantially difference in price, right? Substantially different. Like, look, the arrows might be rubbish, and they probably are, but you can't buy it for the prices. Right, so this is Pelican stuff, some tie downs, some foam. So for the Pelican case, right? So that's fine. Look, and when the Chinese build their kits, they throw these crap arrows in, and they could throw arrows that are like $20 more expensive, and they're really good arrows for $20 more expensive. But they don't. They throw these crap arrows in, which are like $2 each, and they go, look, there's 12 arrows. Like, it's $20 worth of arrows. That's shit. You shouldn't shoot them. But that's what they do because it looks cool, right? This is not what this kit is. This is the best of everything. Right, so the little V-bar. It's cool. It's good stuff. So what Bowtech have done with this kit, they said, what we're going to do is we're going to put the best of everything. Right, so you get a little metal that goes in there. Look, you might like this. I just don't think anyone's going to pay for it, right? If it was available secondhand, I don't think anyone's going to buy it. Quick disconnect, like good, right? Good stuff. I feel like Bowtech's going to build a kit here that is all good. Now, I'm just going to show you how it's laid out inside the case, because it's all nice. Like, it's not assembled, and you know, like I want it to be assembled. I want it to be all put together, so all I've got to do is go out and shoot the thing, right? That's maybe. Okay, dual track sight. This is a good sight. You got the quick adjustment on the side here, so you can shoot it at either. It's a dual pin sight. Goes into the riser. Now, I don't think Bowtech does these sights anymore. I think I've got a feeling there was some sort of thing between them and Matthews about sights that go inside the riser. I don't know. May or may not be. I don't think they do them anymore, and they may do them. And they did sell. I sold them. Sold a couple of them. They're an expensive sight, about $500 sight, right? And yes, it is a $500 sight, right? The problem will be the problem that comes when you're looking at top end gear. If you're a top end shooter, some top end shooters shoot 5 pins, some shoot single pin, some shoot 3 pin. And now you're going, well, here's $500, you don't have a choice. Chances are, if you've got the money to buy the bow, you've already got an expensive sight, like an Axel sight or something expensive. And now you don't have a choice about this sight, because it fits onto the bow, and it is a nice kit, right? But you now have no choice. The Ripcord arrow rest. This mounts straight onto the riser. It's nice. These are nice rests. They're really, again, it's a Bowtech product. It's a good product. It's good. Micro adjustment, $200 product. Good. Might be more, right? It might be more. It might be a $300 product. It might be a $400 product. Your two stabilizers, a 6-inch. Okay. That is a 6-inch stabilizer, and that's a 6-inch stabilizer, okay? How many stabilizer setups use two 6-inch stabilizers in the industry? The answer is none. The answer is none. None do it, right? They're always 8 and 6 or 10 and 8. They're always 2 inches apart. Now, the first thing you might say is, well, why does Bowtech do 6 and 6? Because they're doing the mount that mounts to the riser as opposed to mount on the... And I'm like, no, man, just do what is standard. An 8 and a 6 would have been fine, and a 10 and 8 would have been fine. Look, these stabilizers are fine. They're thin, they're good, they're expensive. The stabilizer set is going to cost you, with the V-bars, let's say 400 bucks. 500 bucks. So I'm at, let's say a stabilizer says 500 bucks, that's fair. Leaks is around 500. Sight's 500, I'm at 1,000. The RRS, let's say 300, I'm at $1,300. I'm at $1,000 for the case, which kills me. So I'm at 2,300. It has the good Bowtech quiver. This is a good quiver. It's about 200 bucks. It's a $200 quiver, so we're at $2,500. We're at $2,500. I feel like I've missed something out there. $2,500. Stabilizers are 500, let's say. The sight's 500. RLS 1,300. The quiver, let's say 200. Like, I'm at around $2,500. This is a $7,000 setup. So now, for the price of this bow, and we're going to talk about this bow, is $4,500 for this bow. Oh, $4,500. Okay, let's talk about this bow and what it's worth. Okay, I don't know much about it. I didn't do much research before the video. I know a little bit about it, but let's just talk. I like doing videos like this. So I get the bow and I get a feel for what it's like. I like these. This is nice. The cams are coated the same as the riser. It's nice. I like that. The cam system on the Bowtech is awesome. It moves left and right for all your tuning stuff. You can argue it's the best tuning system on the market, and I think you'd be hard pressed to argue that point. Go ahead and argue that point. You're just going to lose, right? There's no... Bowtech has not allowed anyone to use this for a reason. It's the best, and if you want the best, you're going to have to pay, I think. The other, like Matthews has now got a cam system that allows the tuning, but you know it's not as good. PSE's got a thing that moves the cams left to right. It's not as good. And Elite have got the thing to tilt the bows. Like the Elite's not bad, but it's not as good as this. Okay, so let's just call it what it is. This cam looks like the same cam as is on other Bowtechs. Okay, so I'm like, okay. The limbs look nice. But what's different? As soon as you pick this bow up, as soon as I pick this bow up, I'm like, I want this bow. It is so light. It is crazy light. I don't know what it weighs. I'm going to put up the stats. It feels like 3 pounds. Now, on the market scale, so let's just talk about bows and what's preferable, right? So when it goes to that you want to go hunting in the bush and walk around all day and weight's an issue, and Joe Rogan says that you cut your toothbrush in half so you're not carrying that little bit of plastic extra, that's the person who wants this bow, right? Because you've spent $5,000 to go hunting, you want this bow. So when it comes to wanting a light bow, the PSE Mac 33s and Mac 35s are really popular. For me, I sell a lot of them. Because they're very light. All right, they're a carbon bow. They have foam on the inside and wrapped with carbon. No, sorry, wrapped with carbon. Now that's different to the other carbon bows on the market. Hoyt have got their aluminium frame wrapped in carbon. It's still heavy. Elite's got carbon wrapped in carbon. It's heavy. So the PSE is light. This feels lighter than a PSE, but it's metal. Now, what's the advantage of this? The advantage of this is the grip feels like a Bowtech. It feels good. The PSE grip feels wider because it's carbon, because they need to make it wider for strength. So this feels like amazing. The balance is perfect. So what this is, it's your cool Bowtech, which is a cool bow, but it's really light. It's like a pound lighter. It's cool. This is a bow I would buy. Without shooting it, I haven't shot it. Now, let's talk about weight. Heavier bows absorb more noise and they're more stable if you've got the strength to shoot one. So, shooting heavier bows to me, I really like. There's been a whole trend for bows to become heavier and I'm really comfortable with them. They shoot amazing. And I used to shoot all light bows, but the new bows just are amazing. Like all the bows, I'm not picking any company. They're all amazing, right? But they're generally all heavy. This is light. This is amazing. Now the question to me, and I haven't shot this bow, is this amazing when it's lightweight? I don't know. I haven't shot it. But we will shoot it, not in this video, in the next one. Right. So let's just discuss all bits. It's got limb locking here. Limb locking's good. Lots of bow companies don't have limb locking. It's got the tuning. Titanium, so it won't rust. I cannot tell you, like I live next to the sea, literally 100 meters from the sea. I can hear the waves from my bedroom. From my shop is 100 meters from the sea. I can see the sea from my house and from my shop. It's that close, right? I get this moisture in the thing and the iron bolts rust. They get rust on them. People lose their mind. I'm like, it's just the air, right? This is titanium, it won't rust. Now, I'm not a medical guy. I'm not a metal guy who understands all this stuff. I have customers who are metal people and they explain to me what metals should be with what metals and for what reason, and it all means nothing to me. Okay? But they're like, this is good, right? And I'm like, why doesn't everyone fit titanium? Because it makes sense, because then you get rid of the rust and the cost of a bolt is nothing. But they explained to me, well, there's reasons for it, and I don't know what those reasons were. There was something to do with strengths of this and that and how metals react with metals, and I just know this won't rust and it'll look like this in a few years' time. They're really strong. This is titanium, this is titanium, this is titanium, and that's titanium. All the bolts are titanium. Now in the past, I think it was PSE or Bowtech, I think it was PSE, did a titanium nut kit. So you can buy all the nuts to go on your bow and they're all titanium. I don't know if these are titanium, but I think this is titanium. Right, so this looks amazing. It's amazing. Now, it's a limited edition bow. There's 250 maximum. I don't think there's 250. I would say a smart move would have been for Bowtech. It's adjustable grip too, right? But it's like a Bowtech, just lighter. Now, in the past, when companies have done limited edition bows, and I own some limited edition bows. I brought one from my father, which cost me a fortune. They had numbers on them. Number 7 I think I've got number 7 of 12 made, right? I think I brought 2. But anyway, we know where most of the bows are, right? Of these 7 that were made. People just know people have got them and they're like, oh, well, I know there's one there and there's one there, and there's 250 of these bows. There's two. There's going to be two of these in Australia forever. There's no number. There's no number. There should be but there's this number here. And maybe this means something. 152. Maybe this is number 152 out of 250. Probably. Look, that's probably what it is. I would need to grab the other one, because I'm guessing that would be 153. But it would be nice if it actually said this was number such and such of... Look, here's the specs on this, which I obviously miss. 3.6, it feels so much lighter. 60 to 70, 25 to 30, axle 32, brace height 6 1/8. 341. It's going to be fast. It's going to be a good bow. I really want to buy this bow. I really do, because it's just one of those cool bows that will always be a cool bow. And there's only ever going to be 250 of them. Right, so let's just talk about what Bowtech did. So they came up with this concept of the Honor bow and putting it all together in a kit, and then they give a percentage of the sales to veterans, all right, to a charity. Cool. Now, if you just release this bow, which I think Bowtech has now done in the Virtue, which I don't have yet, I've paid for. It's another sore point for me because I think I paid $20,000 and I don't have them. I'm still waiting for Bowtech to get back to me on that one sore point I have. But if you had this bow, as a bow, it would sell. If you had it for $3,500, it would sell. But the problem is, you're saying all this stuff that it comes with is $3,500. Ain't no one paying $3,500 for that stuff that it comes with. No one, right? They're not paying it. So then you go, well, this bow is now worth $4,000. So you're saying this bow is now $4,500, and that stuff it comes with is $2,500. No one's paying $2,500. So then you're saying this bow is worth $5,000. So it's twice. This bow is worth twice as much as any other bow which has ever been produced. Oh, okay. Now I could even run with twice. If you made this bow in like a custom finish, put a number on it, 1 of 15, and it was pretty, like Bowtech used to do some pretty colours in the past, someone would buy that, right? Because it's one of a kind. It would look cool on your wall. They would put it up as art. They would. People would buy it. Now, this still cool. It is. It's cool. I want one. I'm just not in love with the $7,000 price tag with it. And the question is going to be how much money am I making on this $7,000? Well, I'll actually lose money because it will never sell at $7,000. So I'll end up selling it less than cost, which I understand. But I get to do a video and explain things and how business works and how this bow shoots. And I'll probably end up keeping one of them for myself, right? So, and one of these will probably sell. So how much would this bow, how much should it sell for? I think it's really interesting. I think the Virtue is going to sell for $3,000. I'm going to pull up the stats on the Virtue because I haven't actually compared the stats of this to the Virtue, which is interesting. Maybe I should pull that up on the screen side by side because I haven't seen those stats side by side. But the Virtue, is my understanding, is going to sell for $3,000, and if this is the Virtue, it will sell. There's no question it will sell, providing this shoots good, and I think it will shoot good. Right, it will sell for $3,000. Now, if you had custom options and limited edition numbers, where you did stuff which is special like titanium and special stuff, people would buy it. Right, so now we go to the kit. All the stuff. The kit stuff is good. I'm okay with this stuff all being in here, but it needs to be at a discount to retail. Okay? So it's going to be, well, instead of that site costing $500, it's really costing you $400. You're making a 20% saving. And then you're making a saving on the bits. Now, it's even better than that in Australia, right? Because I'll be talking about tariffs. Bows and bow kits are exempt under duty, right? We have an exemption. So the way tariffs work in Australia is you apply to the customs agency for an exemption because there's none of this stuff made in Australia, and they grant you an exemption. Now, my understanding was, because someone offered to do it for things for me for archery, it cost me about $10,000 to do it. I think that was the number, $10,000 to get an exemption. And it just doesn't apply to me, it'll apply to the whole industry. So for me to recoup that, I just have to sell too much stuff to do it. So things that have duties, it's too expensive to apply for the custom exemption, because now if it just applied to me, I would do it because it'd give me an advantage in the marketplace, right? But I'm not spending $10,000 because I just won't recover that amount of money, right? So anyway, this is the bow. It looks beautiful. I'm going to set it up. And originally I was going to set it up like all my reviews I do, with just a basic sight, which is probably what I will do. And then I feel like I should do another review where I set it up with all the Bowtech stuff and shoot it to see how much better it is. Because the Bowtech stuff is good. Like the thing that bolts in here is good. Like it reduces weight, which is good. So anyway, this is the bow. Bowtech stuff is fantastic. And I'm not saying that because I sell Bowtech, because this review is a little bit negative on Bowtech, and when I say I don't mean it to be, it's like, well, this is why this stuff is not selling. That's why I'm doing it. I'm trying to create constructive feedback of why this isn't selling, because it's not. If it came in sooner, it would have been better. And yeah, so it's just too expensive. It would have been better if this was just as a single bow, and then you can have the whole kit for an extra amount of money. And it, like, whatever it was, like $2,000 for the kit, that would also sell, because then you've got to do the maths and work out what the kit's worth. It would have sold, because some people would have got it because it all comes together. You're saving postage because it's all in the same unit. Because to ship this case in might be, that case is 30, it's going to be 40 kilos of mass weight. It costs about $15 a kilo because it comes in by air. So we're talking about $700 to freight that case in from America. Okay, so if you bring this case in by itself, you're up for $700 if you bring it in by air, right? So you'd have to bring these in by sea. But the fact that everything is inside it reduces the weight, so it's a good thing. So overall, like, it's not a bad concept. I just think there was whether it's marketing or whether it's putting it all together, or whether just the case is too expensive and you could have done a cheaper case, I'm not sure where it went wrong as far as that. It's just overly, what I'm saying is overly, it's too expensive. This kit is too expensive for what it is, even though this could be the coolest bow ever made today. I think we're fairly comfortable saying that. Which bow's cooler than this? None. I haven't even shot it yet. Alright, anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. That's my take on this setup. And it's good stuff. I'm happy with the stuff in the kit. And I myself would shoot everything in that kit. Like, the rest is good, the stabilizers are good, the sight's good. Like, it's all good stuff. It's just so much money. And put this in perspective, it's like half the car. It's a lot of money. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.